Alright folks, hello and welcome to another AmuLIT stream. Hell yeah, back on AmuLIT. So, oh, we got a new follow right away. AI Coder, thank you for the follow, I appreciate that. So this is very similar to the list I played yesterday. If you haven't watched that, make sure that you go ahead and you check out the VODs on YouTube. There's a couple of different things that I switched around after a couple of leaks. Number one, you're gonna see that I'm only playing 3 castles instead of 4, and what I'm playing instead of the 4th copy of castle is the 4th basic forest, or I guess it's technically the 2nd snow-covered forest. The reason for this is not only the fact that I love basics, but it's also another green untapped to cast Stacy on turn 1, of course. And having access to more forest actually makes our castles better. There needs to be a balance here, and that's what I'm striving for, basically. Like, if you have too many castles and not enough basics, then your draws can become a little bit awkward. And if you have not enough castles, then you don't draw them, and it is kind of balance is 1 white. Wow. We stroke the balance easy. Okay, so that was the first thing that I did. We achieved comedy, indeed. So there's that, and there's also the 2 Gruul responses that we played yesterday in the list. Those cards did not feel very good to me, so I am going to experiment a little bit here. We're going back to an oldie but a goodie. I actually owned some copies of Defense Grid from one of the very first decks that I ever built for Modern, which was Storm, and way back when Storm played Defense Grids in the sideboard. So I'm gonna try this out. Somebody suggested it on Twitter, YouTube, I don't even know where, but let's see what happens. You know, let's kind of try it out. And second of all, I've been really liking the tracker, so I cut the second Woodward response for the 4th copy of tracker. We're gonna see how that works out. This list definitely felt very nice and smooth, so looking forward to doing some testing. My surname looks Polish to you. Yes, that's because it is Polish. Good eye. Good eye. It is actually a Polish last name. So the plan, Mr. Sedigas, is now tracker plus grid. Yep. That that sums it up pretty much. Yeah, that's what it is. Mono trackers in post-cyber league games. I'm Polish, so it was just natural. Fair enough, AI coder. Fair enough. Fair enough. And welcome to the stream, by the way. So one thing that I wanted to point out is that if you want to learn more about, we discussed this at length, like how to approach the control decks and how to set yourself up against Aether Gust decks and whatnot. In the episode that we literally just recorded of the Titan the Titan Talk podcast. Damn, like that's Titan Talk podcast. There we go. It's going to go up on Thursday, I believe. Mr. Seri MTG with the tier 1 sub. Welcome for the 2nd month in a row. Tracker Trivial Poggers. Exactly. I don't even know what that means, but I agree 100%. Thank you so much for the sub there, Mr. Siri. Oh, this reminds me, we got new emotes. Number 1, we have the punt emote. As you can see, it's an Elvish Reclaimer just face bombing. And number 2, we have Vial on 6. We have a Vial on 6 emote now. So yeah, hell yeah. New emote is always hype. This hand is kind of awkward. Should I? Let's do it. Let's go. Like, this is potentially a very, very slow hand, and I'm gonna die with this, but... Oh yeah, I'm definitely dying. Oh, maybe I'm not dying. Yes! Exactly what I needed. More bounce lands. Is this just like red-white taxes? Yeah, this is definitely red-white taxes. I'm gonna be playing the Ghost Quarter here, so if I need to, I can just Ghost Quarter myself. No, this is not Hammer Time. Hammer Time usually does not play Giver. I don't think, at least. Azim17866, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. Really appreciate it. Crew. Yeah, I have to expect that my opponent has some form of Magus of the Moon style card or whatever. So if we keep the Titan list as is, what do we replace for the new spell land from Zendikar? I don't know yet, and considering the fact that I cannot test the card and I cannot play with it, I am probably not going to know until I, test with the card. So it's going to be a minute before I'm going to be able to answer that specific question. Dryad, Azusa. Which spell land card? Again, was discussed in the cast. Well, we're not looking good here. Not looking particularly good here. How many times have people asked you about the new 6-mana card that can play cards from the graveyard and trigger lands twice? Multiple times already. People are excited about it. What I don't like is that, like, I wish people thought more about it before just asking. It's just like, big mana card. Let's ask Francisco. It's just like, I mean, if you stop for a second and you think about it, you're like, oh, this costs the same as Primeval Titan. Is this better than Primeval Titan? Maybe not. Well, it's not. Know that it's not. So yeah, it's not. So it's not gonna be playable. Go Squatter. Spellland is a way to find Sakama? True. Yes. Do you think Colossal Dreamer would be nice as a 5th Titan? That's a good question, Doomwake. Thanks for asking. Because you give me a great excuse to use my brand new emote. Hope you're doing well. My LGS is starting to open up again for small social distance events, so I went ahead and joined your patrons for refresh my memory. Cyberly, thanks for the rate. Oh, thank you so much, Fox Midden. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, my friend. Sure. Interesting that they would discard lands and not the vials. It's kind of confusing to me. They know about the castle. Let's go. Also, actually remember to follow the stream after however long I've watched it. Awesome, glad to hear. Yeah, it was definitely better for my opponent to keep that basic planes rather than the Aether Vial, because they can at least use the planes to cycle, like to use their mana on. Like the second vial is not gonna matter. Played 4-color Shadow the past couple of Fridays, but I'm itching to cast Primetime again. Oh yeah, good times. There will be a resurgence in AmuLIT in Mill, which AmuLIT hates. Yep. Mill is a really bad matchup for us, which is a really funny thing to... I wonder if there's any other deck that says the same thing. Oh man, like I really don't want to face mail. Just out of all the decks, it's such a random one to just like flat out lose to. It's hilarious. Wow, they just keep playing out vials. Why are they playing out the vials? Just hold them in hand so you can discard them to Smuggler Sculptor. Sure, you got me. Nice. So we just win now. Yeah, my opponent must not be familiar with the AmuLIT matchup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I pacting for second Titan or am I pacting for Dryad? The problem is that Dryad gets kind of blanked with this Giver. I'm just gonna get another Titan. Oh, did I miscount? I'm an idiot. I just miscounted. Whoops. My bad, chat. I have failed you all. I definitely want to gain life here. But we're gonna do that afterwards. Yeah, we don't have enough triggers to... I guess that... Yeah, I guess... I mean, they have a Ghost Quarter, so I guess I could have Ghost Quartered first, force the action. Yeah, that would have been better, probably. Death penalties with the tier 1 sub. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold, my friend. Appreciate it. No, I have 2 Valakuts, but my opponent has a Ghost Quarter, so I guess that once my opponent didn't do anything, it's probably not gonna matter, but... There's still... I mean, I should have still made the technically correct play, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Vesuva, and I guess another field. Sure. This makes sure that I don't lose to Bolt. Because my opponent is not going to be able to give the Season Power both pro black and pro green. So we should be fine here. Yeah, we're having multiple excuses to use the brand new emote. This is basically just an exercise on using the new emote. That's what it is. That's what it is. Just an exercise on the new emote. Wow, remember when I played my original hand and my original hand absolutely sucked? It was just terribly bad, but it didn't matter because like it wasn't as bad as my opponent's deck. Love to see it. We want this, we don't want this. You like taking out scouts? My opponent has Lightning Bolt. Usually against Lightning Bolt decks, I shave some number of scouts. I don't think I like taking all of them because my opponent is also playing a Taxes deck, and scouts are really, really good against Taxes specifically. So I think I'm going to shave a couple, but I'm not going to cut them all together. Maybe because I'm bringing the Lightning Bolts, I shouldn't be trying to play the value game against them. Because, like, I mean, we're playing Primeval Titan, right? With all of these answers to Leonin Arbiter, maybe I shouldn't just care so much about playing a value game against them. Because I could just kill them, you know? Sure. Okay. Let's keep this. No, Explorer is excellent in this matchup. Explorer is probably the best card in the deck in this matchup, actually. Jeez, my first match and we already have 85 viewers? That's awesome. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you are enjoying some good old Titan content. Good old Titan content. Destroy target land. Oh, wow. I will still say it. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Destroy target land. I appreciate your Twitch Prime sub and your support. Welcome to the community. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think I actually like this hand. You're gonna try running Titan this series as well? Yeah, I wanna test this cards like through a couple of leagues and whatever. And then I'm going to play some matches in the for the Mana Trader series. So here we're gonna get to explore on 2, which is pretty nice. Hopefully you don't have an Arbiter. Is Defense Grid a meme or not? I don't know. I'm trying it out. I'm willing to find out. Huh. Slow start from opponent. Love to see it. Brutal. Definitely trying to save the untapped green here. So next turn we're going to be able to Dryad plus Bolt or Dryad plus Stacy. Alright, that's disgusting. Okay, I mean, this is what my opponent needed to have a shot this game. We're still fine here. Again, my opponent's deck is just bad, right? So we at least have the... we have that going for us. Our opponent is choosing to play bad cards in their deck that sometimes work when used together. So we are playing good cards instead, so we are naturally advantaged. Oh, that's actually really good for us. This is like so insanely good for us. This is amazing. Wow, we just turbo ramped? That's so sick. That is so freaking good for us. It's insane. Now we get to bolt the Magus and we just have Titan mana? That's so great. We even get to blow them out here if they make a mistake. What is this for 4 mana? Winota? Alright, my opponent's all about the memes. Second Magus? They need to have exactly Flickerous here. Block. So we'll just play double Dryad here. Well, we need to draw a bounce land for my opponent to attack with Jonin Arbiter. The only problem is that Arbiter attacking can potentially find my opponent another Magus, so they're gonna have to whiff there. I can't believe my opponent's playing Winota and Marauders. That's so bad. That is so bad. So like, let's just add even more inconsistencies to my already inconsistent deck that plays bad cards. That's hilarious. Winota and taxes. All right. That's really funny. Okay, so I think I don't like Forces match anymore. And I guess I want to add some scouts. Sure. Calls deck bad still loses. You can still lose to bad decks. That's precisely why Magic is such a successful game. You can lose to bad decks, you can lose to bad players. I am Gifty also. Sorry, I missed your follow there. Imagine Spouts. Yeah, I mean, it could be okay. Spouts could be okay. Meals bad still beats Urpiles, maybe. Surely there are better Winota targets in Modern. I don't know, honestly. Are there? Are there better Winota targets in Modern? So if we find a Titan, this is actually a turn 3 Titan. A turn 4 Titan, sorry. No, turn 3. I'm correct. Yeah, turn 3 Titan. The 7 mana dude, like the Agent of Treachery, you mean? Mopsy, think about follow. In Legacy Winota, people also play this one. Legacy Winota, love it. Can't find the Titan talk. It's a brand new podcast, so there's not. We only have the episode we recorded today was episode number 3, because it also doesn't help with one of your co-hosts falls asleep and they do a bad recording. They forget basically to record their audio from the episode, which was a funny thing. But yeah, there's gonna be more episodes coming down. I love also how my opponent's playing Magus and Ghost Quarter and Path to Exile. That's just good deck building if you think about it. Oh yeah, Thalia. Titan? Mill will be more useful to discuss after Zendikar drops. Yeah, I think that's gonna help Mill big time. We did discuss about that in the podcast too. Do I have Tracker in my deck now? I don't, right? I ended up not bringing them in. And I cannot really... So I think I'm just gonna go fetch a basic here. Maybe I should have gotten Breeding Pool. Maybe, yeah, I definitely should have gotten Breeding Pool. That was a mistake. I should have gotten Breeding Pool there. Never mind, doesn't matter. Sweet. Alright. GG's, I guess. Let's do Battleman's Field of the Dead. It's funny how one would think that my opponent's deck would be really, really advantaged against mine. Like, if you look at both decks in paper, it is not crazy, right? It is almost logical for my opponent's deck to be good against mine. In practice, that's just not the case whatsoever. In practice, that's just not the case at all. Usually my record against Tax's deck is really, really good. And here, I'm just going for the zombie plant here, as you can see. We're just setting up lethal, even if my opponent answers my prime time. We're just going to cost them 2 mana, by the way, because of the Thalia. Seasoned Pyromancer. Sounds good, OP. So now they have 0 outs. Is there a better way to end this match than this way? Is there a more illustrious way to end the match than that one? If mill is big enough that people are sideboarding for it, they'll put Leyline main board. You mean a white Leyline? Happy J? I don't think that we're, like, main board is really a thing, but, like, I mean, white Leyline could be an option, a sideboard option for AmuLIT against mill for sure. Of the Void. Yeah, I don't think that Leyline of the Void doesn't really change Mill's game plan that much. It doesn't really get affected too much by it. Yeah, let's mulligan this. We can do better on 6. Rejoice. Spawn of the Pact. Discard spell? No discard spell. This is... I know that I could have played Stacy right there, but this is precisely what an AmuLIT hand looks like. With this hand, I am 100% out of 100% of the games leading an AmuLIT, because like I still have a Susa, and like AmuLIT is the most irreplaceable effect in my hand. I guess the Titan is, but like still, you see the point that I'm trying to make here. Like playing Stacy on 1 doesn't really do anything. In fact, it enables my opponent to use the mana that they were not able to use. So this is 100% a turn 1 AmuLIT hand. In fact, I think we pass here and we don't play the Stacy, because this plays around Liliana Plus. Opponent reveals Liliana of the Veil. Oh wow, that's brutal actually. Notice that it wouldn't really change anything, but it is actually quite brutal that this happened. Oh yes, my opponent's giving me this trade. Hell yeah. On-set nonsense. Thank you for the follow. Got punished. Don't have a Thoughtseize. Alright, we can beat that. Link Lingering Souls? Opponent discarded Lingering Souls? How can anybody beat such value? That's insane. So I'm not gonna bog my opponent because I actively want my opponent to use their Lingering Souls. So I think here I'm just gonna go Simic plus Bounce. T-West plus Bounce, sorry. So they're probably gonna minus the Liliana here. Hopefully they spend their turn to put 2 1/1 flyers into play. Goif. Somehow even less scary than 2 1/1s. Classic combo, right? Classic combo. One, two, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we definitely play around Path to Exile here, I think. And again, gonna hold a Stacy to discard to Liliana. Field of the Dead and I actually made a mistake. I should have played the land first so I can get another bounce land. I didn't notice that I only have 3 types of bounce lands and all 3 of them are currently in play. So if I want to use field here, which I do, yeah, this was a mistake. Because now I won't be able to get a bounce land here. Brutal. Punt. Okay, how do we fix this now? Probably get a fetch land. Yeah, I guess so. At this point, this is probably the best thing I can do. And now I guess I do play the Stacy. Is it 2015 again? No, it's not really. Bog them? Why? Again, I actively want my opponent to spend their turn casting Lingering Souls because this card is irrelevant, right? So my opponent's spending their mana to cast Lingering Souls. Like, I don't want to bog them. It's actively good for me to not bog them. Sure. Hey, Yams, how's it going? So now bounce lands are good draws. Bounce lands are good draws, so are Titans, obviously. Dryad is a good draw. AmuLIT, sure. Maybe my opponent will minus their Kaya if I play this AmuLIT here. Alright, so we just chill here. It's nice that we don't have to play around K command because my opponent's playing Abzan. It's insane how bad my opponent's mana is. Flashback Lingering Souls. Making the Goyf smaller value. I think I'm just gonna take this here. Again, I'm exactly immediately rewarded. So now we get a free trigger. Now the question is, what do we target? We have to kill the blob, right? My opponent is definitely far more brave than I am. Playing Bob in a Lava Dart meta is some 5-hit stuff, you know. Take 2. Another Lingering Souls. Jeez. I mean, as long as we continue to draw blanks. It's funny how, like, lands are great draws, and like, most of my deck is good draws, yet somehow we find the... Like, I drew 3 of my 4 scouts. I'm definitely gonna draw my second Azusa as well, so I can basically take care of all of my bad draws. Do I want to trade here? I think I just jump there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so this gives me more draw steps, I think. So we're gonna block it like this. William Curson, thank you for the follow. Yeah. Alright. I mean, we have like many draws that just win the game on the spot. That's one of them. What do we kill? Face. Let's kill face. Remember when I said that we have many draws that win the game on the spot? This is what I was talking about. I have no idea how I was able to beat my opponent. Double Lingering Souls. 2 of them. They had 2 Lingering Souls. Can you believe that? How insane is that? Two Lingering Souls. Whitelisted. Hashtag whitelisted. Relics, trackers, explosives. Since they have Bob, maybe I should be keeping him Lightning Bolt. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. Like, we have explosives. Really, 4 trackers? Yeah, we're living the dream. Play some wholesome boomer magic. Exactly. So jealous of opponent. Living the dream. Keeping Ego Squatter ahead of Cavern. My opponent, I don't know my opponent's deck list, right? Like they might have Treat a Village / those cards, like some kind of creature land or whatever. And if that's the case, I'd rather have the flexibility. Particularly when I'm cutting scouts, right? Like when you're cutting scouts, you are like a big part of the incentive for playing Cavern is precisely because it's a turn 1 scout source. So copy that one. The busted unbeatable steering Wildwood. Remember when cards were nice and fair, chat? Those were the times. Liliana or Ash? This is Ashiok here for how they... Oh, well, that's worse for us. Oh, yes, that's definitely worse. Unfortunately, I think I just have to play the field here. Miss Fair cars like Seeding Song. God damn it. Shut up. Oh, my opponent must be feeling so smart. So smart. Alright, so now my Dryad is officially immortal. Alright. Eventually I will draw Valakut, or my opponent will want to attack me. Because they can't. Would Thermal cards be played if it was mono legal? Probably not. Oh, we're playing this game? Oh, sick. Alright. I don't think that attacking is what I want to be doing. I think blocking is my jam right here. Sure. Well, so we're gonna attack the Liliana. My opponent can't really do anything. So... Caleb, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everybody from Caleb's stream. Playing some AmuLIT here. My opponent's feeling smart with the choke. Sure. Okay. How was your stream, Caleb? What did you play today? Discard a tracker here. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Oh yeah, nice. This is also something that happens sometimes. So I think I attack first. Because if my opponent wants to block with everything, that's great for me. They don't. Okay. We probably kill the spirit. See it's what clocks us. My opponent can use Fulminator to blow up any of my lands, and they will negate the trigger, but apparently they don't. Well, is it really working though? Like next turn I start getting zombies too. Is choke really working? Like I don't need to play spells. Like my opponent cannot kill my Dryad. Like my Dryad is unkillable now, otherwise my opponent just blanks their own card. If we draw any land, we also are fine. Like, now that my opponent did not Fulminate or Devalagot there, I honestly feel like I'm ahead right here. I actually feel like I'm ahead. A Karoo would be huge. Yeah, Karoo wins the game. Any land, honestly, is just good. As long as it's any land that I don't currently have in play. Even if I draw a land that I currently have in play, it's still fine. But yeah, Karoo would actually be the best. I am very surprised that they didn't sack their Fulminator previously. Either here or here, but I feel like you have to destroy one of these two. When you cannot kill my Dryad, like this becomes so much more threatening. That's the one they blow up? Now I'm really confused. Oh, nice. 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 That's the line now. What do we want to do? Probably Tracker. And then we can Titan next turn. Please do yourself a favor. Do yourselves a favor and don't bring a choke against against AmuLIT. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Oh man. Well, again, would Dryad suck, really? Like, I just start destroying my opponent's board. Is that bad? Nice choke, OP. Nice choke you got going on over there. Yeah, let's do this. Get a breeding pool to get them feel good. That's good stuff. I guess, yeah, there's two ways to look at that, right? Like, get a breeding pool to assert dominance, or get a breeding pool to make them feel good. Oh, man. Remember when my opponent was feeling smart about playing a choke? Yep. Yeah, I'm playing my Dryad into your... I'm playing my Dryad into your choke, opponent. That's true. That's something that's going on. That is where we're at. I am playing my Dryad into your choke. Yes, and I'm also gonna kill your Goif for value, and your 1/1/2 for good measure. Right, they wanna. Thank you for the follow. Friends, don't let friends bring in choke against Triad of the Legion Grove decks. Yeah, I'm just gonna tap myself out a little bit more, you know? I could swing for lethal, but rather clear creatures first. Yeah, exactly. I mean, why wouldn't I, right? In fact, I should not trigger that last Valakut, and I should go squatter myself to get a basic. Don't bring in choke. I'm getting tired of saying this, but it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how often this continues happening. What about Boil against Riot? Worth it. Depends on which deck you're playing. If you're playing a deck like Gruul, which has a very good matchup against AmuLIT, then I think you're making your deck worse. In fact, you can go to my Twitter and you can see a post that I posted yesterday. But yeah, Boil is a lot stronger. Which is worse, bringing in Choke or minus in Ashiok? Bringing in Choke. Because if you're minus in Ashiok, you're making it easier for your opponent to win, but you're still probably winning because Ashiok is still really powerful and it still is it's tough to answer. It's easier to answer when you minus it, obviously, because I can just attack it to death, but it's still probably gonna be winning the game. While Boil, as we just saw, is just laughable. See you getting carried by chat. What are you even talking about? Like, I gave Doomwake all of the 5-head plays, and he still did whatever he wanted. And still won. What about this shell, but instead of ball, we splash purge? Actually, been there, done that. I think I want to play this first, which is weird. Venture, thank you for that. Oh my god! Death Penalties gifting 5 tier 1 subs, that's what happened. Wow, Venshare, Mean Fanny Pack, Pi Gonti, Andrea, Mighty, Mike 90, and Blake Trusty. All of you, welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. And thank you so much, Death Penalties, for all the gifted subs. Very, very, very appreciated. Oh yes, the perfect card in this matchup. Well, now I am regretting. Like, I was playing around my opponent having turn 2 Arbiter, and I would have wanted to fetch. But now I, of course, get super punished because I am denying myself a Valakut trigger down the line here. Displacer is good. Didn't get arbitered. Value. Okay, so we should be good next turn. What's below the prison piles today? I don't know what you're talking about. Had Maniac Blue Pack felt good. I'm always on the fence about that. It's the 60th card for sure. It frees up a sideboard slot, which is okay. Okay. They're gonna kill their own dude here? They also didn't untap the ghost core, so they're gonna path this, I assume. Oh, or that. Definitely want to get rid of this guy. Getting past here. Am I supposed to counter this? I think I'm actually supposed to counter this. Like, I'm gonna have 2 Dryads, right? Like, my opponent's gonna need to answer 2 Dryads here. Yeah, I think we're probably not gonna find a better... We're not gonna have a better spot for this, so... We have 2 Dryads to help pay for it. My opponent's kind of forcing to go Scooter in my Valakut, and this is a 3-turn clock. Four mana. Is this a Thought Knot? Okay. So they have to... Unless they have second Displacer. Before choke. Even before choke. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Blue, 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 this and this. Okay, so now we're gonna have to draw one of our good draws, I guess. Oh, I should have played the Gruul turf actually. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess it doesn't matter. We still would not be able to transmute into the Layer West. Of course. Again, we were in a situation where we had multiple draw steps that actually won the game on the spot. Unfortunate that we didn't find any of them. Bog out. Explore and associate Arcana Medium here. Maybe I want 2 trackers. I definitely want all 4 bolts. Let's do something like this. Sure. I actually think this hand is pretty solid, unless they have exactly turn 2 color. I guess we can work through that actually. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play the tracker on turn 2. Yeah, I think I'm playing tracker on 2. Do you think the colorless lists are better right now? Not necessarily. Notice you went down to 3 castles. When do you replace it then? I played another basic. I added another basic. Do any lists run steerings anymore? Usually lists that play Karn. Join any kind of business would be great here. Any kind of business would be great. Sure. That's fine. Doesn't do anything really. Squatter? It's really weird. Not the best sequencing I've ever seen. Giver. I think we actually have to kill the giver right here. If they untap with giver, that could be actually problematic. So I think this is going to be pretty straightforward. Like, if we draw reasonable cards, we're going to win. If we don't, and we just draw blanks for the remainder of the game, we're going to lose. That should pretty much sum up the rest of this game. I don't love that, actually. I think I'm going to play this for 3. Then we have it to kill there. It can protect itself. Yes, but they have Flicker Wisp in their deck. They have Displacer. So if I don't use the removal spell right then and there, my opponent might set themselves in a situation where they actually have play, you know? Take 3 here. So many vials. So with the vial going up to 4, I have to assume that they have access to the guy. Maybe they don't. Yeah, once you play this matchup a bunch, you start to realize about like certain... Excuse me? They have Smasher? Fuck! Well, that's a big problem. Shit, well, I guess we have to make sure that this is not a 2-turn clock, so... It's another basic first name of Sand covered force. Anything good? Come on, deck. Really? Is this how it's gonna end? God damn it, man. God damn it, man. Fuck. I mean, Titan still wins, obviously, right? But now we're not, like, we're forced to chomp now, so, like, Tolaria West is no longer an out. Tolaria West was an out until specifically this turn. Because now they attack. Wait, what? Well, I guess Tolaria West is still an out. All right, let me punish my opponent. Let me punish them. Sad face. Ugh, the saddest face. 6 lands with different names. 6 lands with different names, god damn it. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. I wonder, it might have been a mistake for me to play the tracker on turn 2 and expose it to Path to Exile. On the other hand, like, what the fuck, right? Like, we drew 1 business spell in the entire match, and it was the one of Tireless Tracker. We drew 1 tracker. That was the only business card in the entire match, in the entire game. That is wild. That is really, really unlucky. Bounce land. If we find the bounce land, we win very easily. If we don't find the bounce land, we still probably win. Wait, what? So here we definitely have to play out the Valakut there. I guess they might have Remand. We have to play the castle there, I mean, because if we find the bounce land, we can actually cast Titan next turn. Thanks to the castle. Do Gongo 4, think about follow. Okay, so we're playing against like a Temur pile deck of sorts. Ren. Man, if they don't play land though. Unfortunate. Like, a sequencing doesn't really matter here. Like, if they have Bolt, they're gonna get to kill the Azusa, but killing the Azusa doesn't really matter, so. So we have Titan mana, best draw in our deck is Cavern of Souls. Well, that's kind of greedy. Okay, I think we got a gem here. We're running to Remand, unfortunately, but which is what they got. Yep. Kind of sucks that if we had drawn a bounce land, we'd have been able to cast Titan twice that turn. Not sure how I feel about cycling that land there. Seems like it might be a little bit too much to cycle that land there. Don't find the fetch, 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 no fetch, no fetch. No fetch, alright, so we win. Oh yes, we win. So bounce land, handward battlements. Opponent packs it in. All right, let's see if the tech works. Relics. And that's it. Cut Stacy's. Got 1 castle. Grey Fox MTG, thank you for the follow. Shave 1 pact. Pact of Negation is a big question mark. We probably do keep it. Not particularly excited about it. And it's kind of a no-mo with defense grid. Does Temur still run Blood Moon? We actually banned. My opponent's playing Field of the Dead, so I don't think that they're playing Blood Moon. No Gary are hating the 75? Like, are you kidding me? there's 3 pieces of great hate right here. If you live in California, there's Ashgore Remember the First. Yes, there. I actually have. The air is kind of messed up as well around here. I'm gonna try this. Like, I don't think my opponent's on Scape Shift. If they are on Scape Shift, I'm gonna bring in the Pact of Negation. But I guess that actually we're gonna be using Pact of Negation defensively more often than not, which means that it doesn't actually clash with the defense grid. Yeah, I wish I had access to Pact of Negation now. Keepable hand is unkeepable. All the business that I didn't draw in the previous match. Just drew it right there. Actually, I'm gonna bottom the fountain. Yeah. I'm gonna name a human here. Setting up for tracker / Azusa. I assume this is gonna get packed forced. Or not. Sweet. Gotta love global warming. I mean, does global warming have anything to do with like fires? Even before global warming, I feel like we did have fires. Not having anything to do here hurts a little bit, honestly. Global warming causes drought and climate extremes. I mean, I think that California always had this already. But yes, I guess that it has been worsened by global warming, I would say. But hey, global warming is a myth, right? So don't worry about it. All right, OP, what you got for me here? You got Ashiok. That's a problem. Oh, this is something that I noticed the other day. The new edition Jace is kind of tilted. It's so weird. And it bothers me a lot, and I can't explain why. Right? It's so wild. I don't understand. Why would they do that? Like, why would they tilt the art? Centered? Not centered. Why? Why is this a thing? No, you can't unsee it. I know, it bothered me so much the other day when I saw it. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Should I play Cavern there? I think I might have needed to play Cavern there. Because I'm probably gonna YOLO a Titan next turn. I'm being mild sculpted. Ah, damn it. It's a proxy for sure. That's why. That explains it. And how the trigger is still centered. Yeah, I know. Even more annoying. It looks fine IRL. All right, that's really weird to me. Tilted Jace. But it's only the new art one. It's only the new art. The old arts are still fine. So funny. When is the next Dono deck day? Are redeem points for League with the modern? Oh yeah, that's true. I'm probably gonna do that on Thursday, Thalia. Unfortunate that we drew a basic. It's okay though. I mean, as long as there's no rain or something like that, rain would be a big problem. Mira acquired some of the tilt it's cost over the year. I mean, that has to be it, right? There's no other reasonable explanation for that. All right, that's a problem. That's a big problem. So we probably have to pack it in here. Not just yet, I guess. Not just yet. Gusto. Man, if I had one more turn before they slammed the Ren, would be in such better shape. But that was the turn for them to resolve the Ren and to get back the field before I could exile it. Brutal. Yeah, I think that this is actually a lock now. Is this a Temur Returns deck? I doubt it. This is a good Temur deck. Don't think we've seen a turn spell yet. What do you mean? How can I win from here? I don't think I can, but I'm trying to see what I draw. Fairly sure that we have no outs at this point. Are mana traders accumulative or can you just use one? I assume that you can only just use the one. Oh, okay. Temur Delver. I don't know how I feel about a Neuro deck with 18 lands. I don't know how I feel about that, if I'm being honest with you. I would try to add at least 2 more. Okay, so we're thinking here. Should we just ring in Lightning Bolt because my opponent's never going to play around it? There's no way, right? Like that's just not correct. Yeah, that's just not correct. Isn't Scout great in this matchup? No. It's good against control decks, but it's not good against the control deck that has Lightning Bolt and Red and 6. Different control decks require different approaches. Green source. Unfortunate. Dryad. Okay. Mystic Sanctuary representing a cost for my opponent over there. Is this an Ashiok? Is my opponent a minuser? Let's see. They should wanna, if they minus, they should minus on themselves. The correct play is to not minus at all. But if you're gonna minus, they should minus on the if they're gonna minus, they should minus on themselves. New spell land seems kind of cool. If I'm missing that. If you can play Elias Land, yeah, exactly. Look at my opponent not being a mindless and automaton and actually thinking about their plays. Good job, OP. Good job. Don't have the bolt. God damn it. Well, I think we slam a 6/6 here, right? It gets gusted, but then we get to exile their other gust so they can't get it back. And we're still developing our mana. It just resolved. Alright. Belcher seems like it's getting a huge upgrade. Yeah, I've seen people talking about Belcher, which I find hilarious, but like it's actually kind of, it makes sense, right? Jace is potentially an issue. Cryptic, bounce, and draw. Okay. That I'm probably more okay with. Let's do this again. I know that I could have played field there. I just don't want to get got by my opponent just like milling themselves and like them using a fetch and then being able to Udo or something. Do the new multi-lands work with better? Yes, exactly. That is exactly why. 5 mana, our promise. Okay. This is probably double field here. Which is a fucking problem, actually. So we have to draw like a Dryad or something like that so we can keep up with what my opponent's doing over there. Dryad or Asusa. I think we have to crack here. We're not losing. We're not winning here. God damn it. I don't think we can attack. We needed a way to keep up with our zombie production. This is really bad though. I guess even a tracker would have been kind of okay, because... Foff. I gave them a land that doesn't fetch Mystic Sanctuary. That's why I did that. I couldn't prevent them from drawing a fetch, so kind of fucked there. I think that's it. This matchup looks so rough. Yeah, my opponent's playing either Gust and Ashiok. Like, all right. Brutal. Madden Knives 23. Think about the follow there. Rough. Didn't find the defense grid. Didn't know if it was relevant or not. We still died to Ashiok though. Still died to Ashiok. It was kind of problematic that my opponent's... It's funny, but it was actually kind of problematic how my opponent's removal spell was Bolt and not Path to Exile. Because if it had been Path to Exile, then at least we would have been able... Like, my opponent would have ramped me a little bit. Sure. Seath is potentially a tiny bit slow, but... We have an Amulet on 1. And we have enough mana to Titan. But almost a 5. Try running Nether Vial to play our own Gust. We even have an emote now. Alright, so I guess my opponent knew what I was on. And they were only going for a Blood Moon. So this is gonna be an uphill battle. How does this deck beat Prowess with its sideboard plan? Oh, we can beat that one. Try it. So we're not gonna be able to haste even if we draw a Titan. We can beat that. Excuse me? Is that as bad as I think it is? This seems pretty bad. I know that we can Titan, but my opponent could have attacked, and they didn't. And if I packed for Asusa, and they bolted, we're pretty screwed. What happens if I don't do that, though? I think we have to YOLO, right? Because it's just getting worse as time goes by. I guess at the second that my opponent does find their missing piece, we're just dead, so. Oh, sweet. I guess they just missed their attack for no reason. Can't haste, but we can find a fetch land. And a Radiant Fountain? I guess I want a blue source. Let's get to Lyrwist. Okay. That turn was so smooth, that would have taken me like 15 minutes. I've been playing this pile for a while, my friend. I've been playing this deck for a while. I'm usually pretty good at the mechanics involved. I'm usually pretty good at all the mechanics involved. Okay. That doesn't do anything. Just don't have anything. Well, this is good for me. 3, 4. Okay. Let's attack Chandra. It's not that it matters, like my opponent's gonna block with Clothes plus Ooze very likely, but what we're gonna do here is get Field plus Simic. Not the one CMC artifact you were expecting to see. I've been pretty unpredictable. I've been very unpredictable in terms of 1-mana artifacts. So 1, 2, 3 transmute. Summoner's Pact. Do this. Then we do this. Get some Sombos. Trigger on the stack. Fetch. Get a Breeding Pool. Tap. Tap. Make a lot of mana. Bounce this. Cast this. Play this guy. Opponent insists on not conceding, apparently, which I find amusing. And I guess I'm gonna go for just making more zombies right now. I don't think my opponent has answers, so I'd rather exile it to deny my opponent potential mana. So we're good here. We have actual lethal on board, so. You don't see the Great Creator very often in this kind of deck. Pretty even board state. Yeah, it's anybody's game at this point, you know. It's anybody's game, really. Pillage my amulet. Sounds good. Kickshot 9, thank you for the follow. Rabble? Rabble? Hell yeah. My opponent's played List for like 5 years ago or something, right? Main deck Rabble Masters. Main deck Karns. My opponent's list is old AF. Pillage plus 1 would have won. How? I have 3 basics in play. I had everything covered. Literally everything was covered. Karn plus Bridge also doesn't do it. Alright, so we want bolts. Don't want this. We want this. We want this. And we want a couple of these. Stacy has to go, unfortunately. Usually I cut Bog in this matchup. Sometimes Bog is clutch, but I think overall it's probably not where you want to be. I can shave an amulet. And maybe a cavern. Karn and Bridge would have slowed down the game, that's for sure. But it wouldn't have really stabilized. I think we have to ship it. This is probably better, actually. Warp World could have stabilized. Damn, we're going deep. In fact, would have Warp World stabilized? I think that Warp World wouldn't have done it either, right? Because like we had way more permanence than my opponent, so the likelihood of us whiffing is very, very low. Blood Moon, Rabble. Okay. Based on my hand, this is actually more scary than Blood Moon, which is funny. Let's throw Lightning Bolt off the top, because that would be great if we can bolt this and move on with our lives. How about we draw an unplayable instead? I mean, it's a card that we can pitch to force, I guess. Hadn't drawn Dryad yet. The Dryad was in play, right? I had a T-West in play. So my opponent seems to be like halfway between like the red prison decks and Gruul, which is a weird place to be in, honestly. Bounce off the top could be nice. It allows me to Azusa plus Tracker, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I think we probably... wait, should I play the Tracker there? If I play this Tracker... Yeah, because... Yeah, I guess that now we're champ blocking. Yeah, so that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. Because like now I'm going to be champ blocking the Realm Master anyway. I think that would just die, however. Glorybringer? Yeah. Have we talked about the new Raminab Excavator on steroids? I think that what you mean is unplayable Raminab Excavator. And no, I didn't talk about it because I didn't think it was worth discussing too much, really. It's a meme card. I think Death Penalty is just trolling you. Jesus. I think that it is just messing with you. Keep this one, bottom that one. Let's go. So turn 2, we AmuLIT plus probably copy my opponent's basic forest. That is nice. AmuLIT, copy your thing. Let's go. Should I have hidden the AmuLIT there? Just don't have Blood Moon this time. God damn it. The time where I'm not prepared for Blood Moon, that's when my opponent has it. That sucks. Sage? Bolt. That's a Sage. Come on, really? Fuck. Of course. Sebo, thank you for the follow. You're kind of stuck on mana. So I think I'm gonna bolt here. Brutal. Give me my force. Give me force! Force of the top. Force of the top. Force. Right now. Force. So now they're out of their mana issues. So we don't really have that much time anymore. I wouldn't say trebly double the triggers of the lands. Yes, but it costs double the mana. And that effect is not worth double the mana. Maybe you could feel it, but deck again, strictly worse Raminab Excavator. I am already not playing 4 Primeval Titans in Titan File. Is this card better than Primeval Titan? No. So then playing this before Primeval Titan doesn't make any sense. Even my opponent blowing up irrelevant amulets instead of... And it's not gonna matter, because like I'm just dead, but it's kind of annoying. Alright, we got destroyed. I think if the draws have been flipped, like if I had drawn my hand against my opponent's hand in the previous games, I think that we win both games. But that wasn't it. So after a 2-0 start, going down to a 2-3 feels the worst that it can ever feel. Not excited about that in the minimum. We lost badly against the Eldrazi Ashiok deck. Obviously, we lost badly against the Bonza deck. Again, like, just, you know, the draws not lining up. And then we also lost badly against the deck where we literally drew one business spell in like 20 draws or something. More like 15, I think. But still. I think I'm gonna take it for another spin, though. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna be taking a short break, though, so... I will, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for doing so. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.